Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or if this is your first time here, thanks so much for stopping by. For today's video, I have for you the new collaboration palettes between Sydney Grace and Temptalia. Today we'll just be doing the first one, which is the Quintessence palette, but we'll be doing multiple looks. So if that sounds interesting to you, why don't we go ahead and get started? Alright, so like I said, we're just going to start with the Quintessence palette. I'm not sure exactly how many looks I'll be able to get through. These other ones, I'll be doing multiple looks with them as well, don't worry. But we're just starting with the first one, kind of going in order, basically, of how she designed the palettes, which if you haven't seen the way the layout is, hold on, I'll just hold up the sleeves for you. It's a lot easier than trying to hold up the palettes. And then that way you can see the actual landscape view that she created with the palette. So the first one is the Quintessence, which is this one. Let's see if we can get rid of that ring light. There we go. So that's the Quintessence. Okay. And then the next one is On the Horizon. So then this one has, like, they connect together. They don't connect like by magnet or anything. I'm just saying, like, when you put them together, they make a picture. So, let's see if I can get it without the ring light. Come on, it did. There you go. So see, that's like constellations and like beautiful, bright, almost like Aurora Borealis, or I don't know. That's like a galaxy, I guess is what it looks like. So there's like constellations and a galaxy and whatnot. And then on this one down here, you see a moon and you see a wolf and you see some water. And then you add the third one, which is called Radiant Reflection. Let's see if I can get all three of these lined up properly. Okay, so there we go. And so then you see the continuation of the water and you see something underneath that's like, I don't know, it looks like some kind of mystical stone or something underneath the water. So I'm hoping y'all can see that. But anyways, so I'm starting with this top one here because that's, in my opinion, kind of her first palette. So we'll be starting with the Quintessence. Alrighty, so without further ado, let's go ahead and take a look at this palette, the Quintessence. It's a very beautiful palette. It does have a mirror. It has plastic on it. I haven't taken the plastic off yet. But I'm going to flip the thing back so that you can see the shades. And so there's the shades right there. You've got nice cool tones, in my opinion, in this one. With the addition, well, that's not really a red. That's more of a, I feel like it's got more of a pink undertone. I guess we'll see when we play with it. It looks red in the pan, but as I'm looking at it, it's almost, it reminds me of like a deep magenta or something. So I think all of these are real cool tone shades. Just that one right there looks like it might be a little warmer than it really is. I think it's actually cooler than it's coming across on the camera. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to zoom you guys in and go ahead and prime my eyes and pull my hair back, and I will be right back with y'all. Alright, I'm back. I've got my eyes all primed, hair pulled back. We're all zoomed in, so you should be able to see my eyes all up close and personal. I am going to go ahead and, for time's sake, insert swatches here. Okay, here are the swatches for the Quintessence palette. The very first shade that's at my wrist, that's Umbra. It's described as a deep black with a matte finish. The next one down is Orion Nebula. It is described as a raspberry red with a pearl sheen. Okay, and then the next one down, the third one from the wrist is Aurora. That is described as violet with blue-violet shift and sparkling metallic finish. You will see in the video, because these were actually swatched after the video, after the looks were done, that I may be calling some of these shades kind of, or describing these shades wrong at first, but I kind of figure it out as I'm going through and doing my looks. Next up is Borealis. That is a mint green, described as a mint green base with warmer gold shimmer and micro sparkle over metallic finish. Okay, after that is Galactic Muse. Galactic Muse is described as medium bluish teal with intense metallic finish. Okay, next is Interstellar, and that's our second matte. The first one was the black at the very top. Okay, so Interstellar is described as a deep blue teal with a matte finish. After that is Celestial Bloom. Celestial Bloom is described as intense violet purple with a hint of blue reflect and metallic finish. Next up is the Milky Way. This one is actually spelled kind of odd, but it's actually the girl Christine who runs the Temptalia website. That's actually her last name, and it's pronounced Milky, so that's why she did that. And I'm hoping I can get the duochrome shift in here. But that is described as a medium rosy pink base with intense gold to green shift and metallic finish. And it kind of is picking up the shift a little bit. You can see it much better in person. I wish I could pick it up better on camera. Next up is our third matte, and that's called Reaching Zenith. And this is a light medium neutral gray with a matte finish. Okay, and then our fourth and final matte is Parallax. It's a light grayish lavender with a matte finish. Okay, and then next is Sirius Starlight, and that is described as a light silvery taupe with twinkling metallic finish. And then last but not least is My Constellation. Try to get that moving so you can see the shift or the sparkle in there. This is a muted mid-tone plum with blue reflect and metallic finish. So there you go. That is the entire palette swatched for you with the descriptions of the shades, so that it makes a little bit more sense once you see them going on my eyes. All right, thank you so much for watching. Alrighty, so now that you've seen the swatches, I think what I'm going to start off with is, there are only 4 mattes. So I think I'm going to start with the lightest one and just kind of build a little bit of a transition, and that is Parallax right there. So it's like kind of a light taupey gray shade. To blend that, I'm going to use kind of a large fluffy blending brush. This is a Morphe X Jaclyn Hill JH32 right here. So I'll just dip in there. You get a little bit of kick up in the pan, but not much. So that's really nice. That's a really pretty color, I think. I think it's going to actually show up a little bit better than I thought it would. So I'm going to start by kind of stamping it on first in my crease, and then blending, just to make sure that I get it laid down evenly, because with my aging eyes I've got you know, lots of fine lines and whatnot on my lids. So it's easier or better for me to kind of pack on the color a little bit first so that I get it everywhere, and then I blend it. So yeah, it's still a very light shade, but it does show up on my skin tone. I'm surprised that it shows up as well as it does. Hopefully it's showing up on camera. So the next shade I'm going to go into is the one that was right next to it, called Reaching Zenith. Right here, it's a gray shade, Reaching Zenith. Pull it back so it's not washed out, right there. I'm going to continue with the same brush, but this one I am going to tap because it's definitely darker. And I'm going to start more on my outer corner, my outer V a little bit, and then I'll bring it in. Start by packing, just to kind of deepen up that outer corner, and then bring it in. And I'm literally just kind of blending that in with the shade that I laid down below it. A little bit of the shade that I laid down first might be peeking out above, which is what I want. Just ever so slightly. And I don't want to make this color too deep. I think I could build it up to be deeper than it is now, but I kind of like that where it is. That way we can see the other shades that we'll be laying down. I think these are really beautiful palettes. I think they're very complementary of each other and can be used together in addition to used separately. So I think that Christine, who is the person who, the woman who runs Temptalia, the website / database, that is amazing. If you've never checked it out, I highly recommend it. She has the biggest database of dupes that I'm aware of. If you know of anywhere else that has more than her, let me know. But I mean, like, you can dupe out foundation shades and dupe out eyeshadow colors, and it's not just like one or two. No, she gives you tons of options. Plus she does reviews, blog postings. I don't know, I really like her website. She unfortunately does not have a channel, but that's okay. She does do, she doesn't do videos, but she does take pictures, and she'll put those in the blog so you can see the looks that she did during the review process. Alright, so next up, I think I'm going to dip into Interstellar. I do wish there were a few more mattes in here, but that's okay. Interstellar, and I'm going to add that, oh, let me pull that back, there you go, Interstellar. Going to add that to my outer V and crease as well. But for that I'm going to use a smaller brush. This is a ColourPop E9 right here. I like that. I like their brushes. I think I might pick up a few more of these white brushes. I think they're only like white handled brushes, I should say. I think they're only like $5 each if they still have them. Okay, so I've got that pretty well blended. I was just finishing it off by going back with the original brush I started with and dipping into both of those gray shades, the lighter one and the darker one. And I'm just going up to the top and just blending the top out using those shades just to make it nice and smooth. I'll also kind of blend the edges here. So I already kind of did it on this side. It's pretty well blended. So I wanted to make sure to show y'all that step. Sorry. I just started doing it out of habit and I'm like, oh, I probably should record this. Next up, I'm going to dip into Celestial Bloom right here. It's kind of a, I don't know. Come on, focus. Why aren't you focusing? Focus. There we go. This one right here. It's kind of a true blue shimmer. So I'm going to put that just kind of on my center. And then I've got one more shade that I want to use. So I'll start with this one. I will spray it just to make sure I don't have fallout. I just grabbed a shader brush. So that's what I'm using. Not using my fingers or anything on the brush. Well, the brush is pink, so it almost looks purple. I don't know if you can see that. Let me just grab some water. This is, whoa, almost knocked over my mirror, whoops. This is water in an old MAC Fix Plus bottle. I just love the spray. Works out perfectly. So again, I'm just gonna start and meet up with this shade here and just go to about the center of my lid. Hey, I'm just going to use the other side of the brush since it doesn't have any product really on it. And I'm going to dip into the one shade that just kind of stands out in this palette as different. I'm going to dip into Orion Nebula right here, the one that looked red initially, but as you can see it's kind of more of a, I feel like it's more of a pinkish purple kind of color. Like a magenta basically. But we'll see once we get it on the eye. I have not swatched this palette yet, that's why I said I'd be inserting swatches, so we're trying it as we go. It almost looks like a burgundy on the brush, but the brush is pink, so it's a little deceiving. Okay, let's see what this shade looks like. Aha, that's exactly what I thought it was going to look like. That is gorgeous. Okay, and now I'm going to literally kind of merge these two shades together here in the middle. Almost create a separate shade. I literally dipped back into both of them on, you know, the appropriate sides of the brush. There we go. So now I don't know if you can see that, but like I almost made like a purple kind of right there in the middle to blend them together. So now I have this gradient of this teal, the blue, the mixture of the colors, and then that pretty Orion Nebula shade. So there we go. I am pleased with that. I'm going to deepen up the teal though, just because that blue is a little bit darker. For that though, I'm going to use more of a packing brush. Okay, here's a Morphe. Morphe M, yeah, I'd be telling you way wrong. 124 is what this is right here. Alright, so I'm going to, like I said, dip into that teal shade. It's called Interstellar. Just to kind of build it up literally right here on the outer corner by the deep blue. That's it. Just kind of reinforce it. Make sure it's blended in there. And there we go. And then I'll fix the shape when I do my lower lash line. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, and then I'll be back with y'all to do the lower lash line. All right, I am back. I have these all blended out. This is what we're looking like. So now hopefully you can see the gradient between the teal, the blue, the kind of mixture of the blue and the magenta or whatever shade this is, and then this shade here. So now I need to do the lower lash line. For that I'm going to use a really small brush and go in with that same teal shade Interstellar just to kind of connect the whatchamacallit, to connect the corners. This is a BH Cosmetics. It's from their Crystal Quartz, I think is what it's called, brush set. This is a number 10. I think this is one of my favorite brush sets from them. I think I still have all of the ones that came in the set, and that's saying something usually. Alright, so dipping into Interstellar, I will be tapping off my brush just to try not to get any fallout. I got a little bit, not too bad. And And yeah, you can see I'm just connecting these outer corners right here, and do the same thing on the other side. I'm not going to take it any farther than this. Use a different brush because that's such a deep shade. This is a Morphe E36, which works really well. So now I'm dipping into that Celestial Bloom blue shade that we used. I will spray my brush to, of course, avoid fallout as much as possible. So I'm trying to contain that to the area where the blue is. Okay. Same thing on the other side. And it's going to overlap the teal a little bit because that's how it is on top. And then that maybe berry is the best way to describe it, like a really pretty berry shade. So now I'm going to dip into that berry shade called Orion Nebula, and again I'm going to spray it as well. Okay, and then we're just going to finish up connecting these together. Make sure my head's up so y'all can see me. And then I kind of blend them together to make that purplish shade in the middle. That is my lower lash line. Now my inner corner, I'm going to use this beautiful silver called Sirius Starlight. I'm going to pull it back a little bit. Sirius Starlight. It's spelled like S-I-R-I-U-S. So this is all like, you know, space themed here. So let me get something for the inner corner. Here's a Sigma smudge. This is an E21 right here. I'm going to use that for my inner corner. Go into Sirius Starlight. We'll definitely spray the brush on this one too because it seems like a very soft shade. Oh yeah, I think that's nice. Just a nice little pop of silver right there in the inner corner. That looks really pretty. Hopefully y'all are seeing that. Alright guys, so here is the eye look. Obviously I still need to put on my liner and lashes. If I'm doing liner, I'll probably do something in the waterline. Alright, I am going to pop off camera and do my, see if I want to use a liner, do my lashes, and pick out a lip, do a lip. And I'll be right back with y'all to talk about to show y'all the finished first look. And then we'll move on to the next look. Alright, I am back. While I was off camera, I went ahead and put a nude liner in my lower waterline. Get closer so y'all can see that. This is the Rimmel Exaggerate Waterproof Eye Definer. This eye keeps watering, so you're gonna probably see it watering. Number 213 in the nude. And it's just a nude liner, like I said, it looks just like that. And then I put on the Maybelline Lash Sensational on my upper and lower lashes before I did my falsies. For my falsies, I used Lash Scoop. These are 3D foam ink, vegan and cruelty free, and can be reused multiple times. This is from an actual lash subscription that I receive every month. Moving on, I think they provide lovely lashes. I think these lashes look really good with this look. Like I said, this eye keeps watering, so if you can see right there, this keeps separating. I've touched this up like, I don't know, I feel like 20 times while I was offline. To attach my lashes, I used what I normally use is the Kiss Lash Glue Liner in black right here. It works great. Love this stuff. Makes it really easy to put lashes on. And then for my lip, I'm using Natasha Denona I Need a Nude in the shade number, oof, can't read that, number 36 NP Ambrosia. So this is the one that she released with her, I think it was with the Mini Love collection. So it's just kind of a, it's just a nude, kind of a brownish nude. I thought it would go nicely with this look. So there you go. And that is all I did off camera. I took down my hair, fluffed it a little bit, tried to make myself look pretty. So here is the final look. Like I said, I keep having to go in and touch up this area right here because it keeps watering. Yeah, it's driving me crazy. But this is the first look, so y'all tell me what you think about it. There you go. I'll turn to the side here. Look down, look up. There you go. So I really like it. It's definitely a dark palette, so you're going to get dark looks out of the palette. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed look number 1. I will be back with you shortly. I am back for look number 2. Out of I don't know how many yet still. So we shall see. So I think what I'm going to do is start with the grays again, because they're kind of the only transitions. So I'm just going to actually dip into both of these together right here, and put those in my crease, and on the outer V, or outer corner, just to go ahead and get the look started. And then I'll decide where we're going from there. I feel like using the greens in this look, so I have a feeling that's the route we will be going. I don't know if I'll be doing the teal again, or if we'll be able to do it without it. We'll just see kind of how the look flows. But for now, we're going to start with these grays. Alright, I am back. I have those grays all blended in. This is what we're looking like right here. Okay, so I think what I've decided to do is be a little brazen, and I'm actually going to use the rest all shimmers, just because, like I said, we only have 4 mattes in the palette, and I don't feel like using the teal again, but I do want to dip into both greens, so I will be dipping into both of these greens right here. Pull it back, make sure you can see that. And then I'm going to also dip into this purplish shade right here. So I have an idea. I know it sounds a little wild, but I think it'll come together okay. It might look a little messy at first, just bear with me and we'll see what happens. So I'm going to actually swatch those 3 for you, for me as well, so that I know exactly what shades I'm dealing with. I mean, it's green, but I see more blue in it looking at it in person. So I may just play with these 2 and leave Galactic Muse alone. Just had it. Here we go. Okay, this is another Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush. See, I told y'all. These are really good brushes. This is a JH, and I think you can buy her brushes individually too. JH41. So through Morphe directly. So if you like see one particular shape that you like, I really like how this is tapered. Makes it a little bit easier to control. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up my brush. I am going to get it wet to make sure I don't have a lot of fallout. I'm just using water that's in my Fix Plus bottle, an old Fix Plus bottle, I should say. Okay, so here we go. Wish me luck. I'm going to start. I don't want to go out too far, like I did in my last look. That was crazy. Alright. Okay, I'm back. So I now have that purple all blended into my outer V and into my crease and all the way over to just about the middle of my eyelid, or about where my iris starts. So that's where we're at right now. That's what we're looking at. I'm going to take the same brush and clean it off in my Veramona color switch, which just gets rid of all the pigment. See, I'm able to do that and nothing comes off the brush now, so now I can use it like it's good as new. And I'm going to actually dip into this green right here called Borealis, and it has kind of some shimmer reflex, some silver reflex in it. These all kind of seem to have some silver reflex. I think that may have been part of her plan, including the fact that it has a silver in here. But anyways, I'm going to take that and I'm going to put that on the, you know, from the center to the inner portion of my lid. No, it sounds strange, but we're going to see what it looks like, because I think it's going to be very pretty. And there's only one way to find out, right? So let's go ahead and get started. Let's see how this looks. Oh wow. This is such a pretty shade. Kind of reminds me of Mardi Gras colors, actually. I didn't even think about that. Well, there you go. So then we know these colors can work together. Ooh, and where they're meeting, you can like kind of see the silver. It's really pretty. It's funny, it's like you can see the silver shift. Alright, so I'm going to actually, on the opposite side of the brush, go back into Constellation just to kind of help blend the two shades together. I'm going to kind of go back and forth between the two shades and just kind of pat in between, just so that they kind of don't have a definitive line. They just kind of blend together seamlessly. Very pretty. Okay, so that is how that looks. Like I said, I told you it was going to be a little interesting, a little different, but I actually really like it. So I am going to go off camera and finish the other eye, and I'll be right back with y'all, and then we can do our lower lash line and our inner corner. So I will be right back in just a minute. Okay, I am back. I have both eyes blended out, so this is what we look like right now. I'll pull back so that I'm not too washed out. So there we go, that's what we're looking like right now. Let's go ahead and do our lower lash line. For our lower lash line, I'm just going to use that shade, my Constellation, the purple, the deep purple. I'm just going to take it all the way underneath. For that, I'm going to use a Morphe E36 brush right here. And again, I will spray it because I know that otherwise I'll probably have major fallout everywhere. So, and I'm keeping it kind of close to the lash line. Yeah, I think we're about even. I think that's good. So that's what we look like right there. So I like it. I like the way it looks. All right, so for my inner corner, I want to go in with this shade, the Milky Way. I'm not sure. It's spelled M-I-E-L-K-E. I'm not sure the significance behind that name right there, but anyways, it looks like a really cool looking duochrome that has some silver and some purple maybe in it. We're going to swatch it first so that you can see it, but that's what it looks like to me. So let's take look and see what the Milky Way looks like. Oh yeah, I don't know if you can see that shift. Oh wow. So I'm going to use that in my inner corner. Ooh, that's very pretty. So it's kind of got a pinkish purple shift to it. That's really pretty. Here, let me put it on my... Here, I'm going to scoot back a little bit just so that y'all can see it a little better. For that, I'll use my Sigma smudge brush number E21 right here. Dip into that, and I will be spraying it as well. That way I can make sure I don't have fallout everywhere. And I'll be probably bringing this up on my upper and lower lash line as well. Not just the inner corner, just to kind of brighten it up. Help tie the look together. That is a fun shade. I was originally just going to use the silver because the green and the purple both have so much silver reflect. So, you know, I thought it would bring it out, but this has, I think, some silver reflect, plus it's the duochrome. So there you go. I'm very pleased with that. That inner corner, that is gorgeous. So I am going to pop off camera, do my lashes real quick, and pick out a lip, and I'll be right back with you guys. So see y'all in just a minute. All right, so here we go. I'm back with our finished look. So here are the eyes. I'll turn to the side. This eye has been watering the entire time I was off camera, so if it looks a little rough on the outer corner, that is why. It's still watering. It's driving me nuts. This eye always waters. It never fails, especially when I'm doing my makeup. So anyway, so here is this side, this eye. So there you go. That is the finished look. I used the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara to apply to both the top and bottom lashes before I applied my falsies. To apply my falsies, to adhere them, I used the Kiss, I'll get this down, Lash Glue Liner in the shade Black. This is just a nice felt tip liner, and it has an adhesive in here that does a really, really good job of adhering your lashes to your eyes. For my lashes, I used the same ones I used in look number 1. They're the Lash Scoop. This is a subscription service. They do 3D foam ink, vegan, and cruelty-free lashes. I know that's very bright. I'm trying to hold it to where maybe you can see it. But anyways, this is the shade Lyris. I don't know that you can actually order individual. I think I went on that spiel in look number 1. I'm going to find out if you can actually order specific styles, or you only, you know, kind of get to try them, and it is what it is. But regardless, I really like these eyelashes, so they're very pretty, and I should get a good amount of use out of them. So yeah. And then for my liquid, or for my lipstick, I used the Ofra Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in the shade Manila. It's kind of a My Lips But Better shade. So there you go. There's the finished look for you. I like how it turned out. Y'all let me know. It's almost Mardi Gras colors. Like I said, we're only missing the gold. If we had the gold in there, it would almost be Mardi Gras. But I like the way the purple and the green blend together, because I think they're both a good, nice, deep, cool tone shades. And then I think that that inner corner shade really brought it together. I didn't realize how much of a duochrome that was, and it's perfect to have that like lavender and green flip to it, because it just really, like I said, just pairs this look together perfectly for me. So with all that being said, I'm done with look number 2, so I will be back with look number 3 shortly, so I will see y'all in just a few minutes. Well, hello, welcome back for look number 3, I believe we are on. This is look number 3, so I thought today I would play a little bit more with the purples, because what looks like blue in here, to me, really looks more like a purple. And so, when I swatch it anyways, it looked more blue in the pan. This right here, Celestial Bloom. I mean, like, even all the way back, it looks really blue, right? Okay, so I'm going to swatch it. Still looks kind of blue. But maybe it was this one. I think it was this one. Yeah. So I'm going to kind of spread it out a little bit. Now, I don't know about to y'all, but to me that looks more purple. So I thought that I would play with the purples because she has at least this one and also my Constellation in here. And I'm also going to, well, let me point that out. My Constellation right here, this is that deep purple right there at the end. And then I also want to play with this shade right here, which, what is it called? Orion Nebula. That's just going to go on my crease. So I'm going to do another look where it's mostly shimmers, because, you know, that's what we're given in this palette. We only have, what did I say, 4 mattes. Now, if I feel like I need to, I can always blend out with Parallax, which is a great, it's almost like kind of having that standard cream color in a palette, only instead of a standard cream, this is more of a grayish taupe color. So it's great to blend out up at the top of the crease, basically. So if need be, I'll dip into that as well. So I'm going to start off by dipping into Orion Nebula, like I said, and I'm going to be putting that in my crease. I will be using more of a packing brush before I start blending. That way I don't have to hopefully have a lot of fallout. We shall see how it turns out. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got my mirror here. I'm going to dip in with, let's use a Jessup eye shading brush right here. Okay. I'm not getting it wet since I do intend to blend it. I don't want it to be too shimmery for one. And I don't want it to adhere to the lid like in one spot too much. So I want to really just kind of start in my crease and kind of just start gently laying it down there. And then, like I said, I'll go back and blend it, probably with a blending brush, most likely. Now I'm going to get a nice blending brush and I'm going to blend it, but I don't want to go too crazy because that's pretty much where I want it. So I want a kind of a loose blending brush, like this right here. This is a Morphe. Oh boy, I knew I was going to have to wear my glasses to read these. A Morphe 441. Okay, that's what I thought I said. So I'm going to just ever so gently, just literally on the shadow itself. Sorry, I keep looking down in the mirror down here too to make sure I'm keeping it where I want it. Trying to keep it pretty much where it is. I am doing the blending motions, the circular motions, and trying not to really raise it up or move it around too much. This is more just to kind of buff the edges, make sure everything blended well. Make sure everything looks blended well, I should say. and make it look a little bit more like a matte. Make sure I get it kind of in that outer corner a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. Okay, so there we go. That's what we look like. I'm going to turn off the camera and do the other side, and I'll be right back with y'all. Okay, I'm back. Note to self, even the shimmer shadows are heckin' pigmented, and if I want to, I could stretch them out a long way on my lids. So I tried to really just limit my blend to right where I had packed it on. Going forward, next time if I pack on one of the shades, I might go a little bit less blend and then add a little bit more if I need to, because that was tricky. I was afraid it was going to go everywhere. So, because it's very, very pigmented, but that's a good thing. All right, so next up I want to dip into the shade My Constellation right here. This deep purple shade. Why are we not focusing? Come on, focus. Okay, focus on me. Okay, you're focused on me. Now focus on this. There we go. This shade, not that one. This shade. Nope, this shade that I'm raising my finger up with my pinky finger. My Constellation right here. That is that dark purple. That is the shade I'm going to go with my on my outer corner or outer V or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go right there just to kind of build that up and give it a little bit of depth. So we'll start with this eye. For that I'll use a smaller packing brush and any glasses. This is a Morphe M152 right here. Morphe M152. Alright, so I'm dipping into My Constellation. This one I am not really necessarily blending out, at least not too much, so this one I will spray with water. And I'm just going to start, actually let's turn the brush the opposite way. Start and make sure I don't go out too far. Let's see what I'm doing. Yes, okay, good. I'm just starting right there. Because I always feel like I always go out too far. Unless I have tape on, which I had already done my complexion, so I didn't want to put any tape down. Maybe with the last looks, I'll do the eyes first. I don't know. I've got to figure out if I'm doing, how many more looks I'm doing, if I'm doing any more with this one. I think I am. I feel like I still haven't played with the greens enough. And one of them, honestly, to me, is a little bit more blue when it's with the blue. So I might do like a bluish green look. And I think we'll see that one of those shades that looks a little bit more green comes off a little bit more blue depending on what you pair it with. Okay, I'm going to do the same on the other eye and I will be right back with y'all. Alright, I am back. So now I have that deeper purple that's in the palette called My Constellation, blended on or packed on and blended on the outer corners. A teensy bit in the crease, but not a whole lot, just to deepen it up, like I said. So now I'm going to get another brush. Okay, so this is the Morphe X Jaclyn Hill brush. And this is the JH41. And I love just how tapered that is. I have, oh, there's a fuzzy on there. Anyways, I love how tapered it is. It has, it gives me really good control. So. Alright, so as a reminder, I am dipping into this shade right here, which is called Celestial Bloom. I know it looks more blue in the pan, but we're going to see what it looks like on the eyes. To me it looks more purple, like I showed y'all on my hand. And that may just have to do also with, you know, what you pair it with, because I'm curious if I pair it with a more blue shade, if it'll look more blue. Because even Aurora to me seems a little purple. And maybe they're supposed to be, I don't know. I haven't read the description of this palette. Maybe I should do that. Alright. Because that might tell me what they intended the color to be, the shade to be, the color of the shade to be. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Okay, so I've got that color on the side now too. I feel like I just need to do a little blending on the, in between the shimmers. So I'll just do that with y'all. I'm just using the same brush. Oh, it looks a mess because I kind of used the color switch. But anyways, I'm using the same brush I used to initially blend the first shade I laid down, which is called Orion Nebula. So I'm basically just using that to blend it in to Orion Nebula and into my constellation, just kind of giving the blend on everything. So there we go. Alright, I think that looks pretty good, guys. I don't know about y'all, but I like it. It is like a, that purple on the lid is kind of like a bluish purple. On my lower lash line, I'm just going to use like a smudger brush. This is a Morphe. Let's see if I can read it. I think it's 508. I think I might be reading it right. Ooh. Yes, it's an M508 right here. That's what I'm using. I'm sorry if my glasses ever blind you guys. I'm gonna look for some to see if they have any that don't have a reflection that I can wear when I'm, you know, on camera. I need to find out. I wonder if blue light ones do that. If they would block the glare. Okay, so I've decided on my bottom lash line, I'm just going to bring the shade that I used in my crease, called Orion Nebula, which is right here. I'm going to put that on my lower lash line, and we'll see how it looks. This one I am going to spray because I don't want a lot of fallout. I just fixed all my fallout and I set my concealer, which I probably should not have done before doing this. So wish me luck that if I just kind of tap this on with it wet, that I won't get fallout. Oh, that one's big one. Okay. Well, now I'm just going to wipe the same brush off on a paper towel, just ever so slightly, just to kind of blend it a little bit with the same brush without dirtying up another brush. Now that it's kind of dried a little bit, just to bring it down just a hair. But I don't know if I've actually shown y'all, because I feel like I always spray off camera. So here you go. So I've got it on the brush. Y'all can see that. So then I just take the brush to the side and then I just spray 1, 2. And you can see it's damp. Okay, and then I just go into wherever I'm going with that shade. In this case, it's my inner corner. And I'm not going to bring it down or up a lot. This I am going to keep focused mostly really in my inner corner. Sometimes I like to bring that down, but since I'm using so many shimmers, I'm just really going to focus this on my inner corner. So I'll pop off camera like I always do, and go ahead and do my lashes and my lip to save time, just because we're doing so many looks, and I'll be right back with y'all. Alright, I am back. I'm going to apologize in advance if it appears that I'm looking at the viewfinder a little too much, or looking maybe down at my mirror. But my lips, I'm wearing a lip gloss, and I've already caught myself with lipstick on my teeth like 2 or 3 times, even with doing, you know, the little finger thing that's supposed to keep it from getting all over your teeth. So what I did when I was off camera is I first applied my mascara. I always apply it on my upper and lower lashes just to be able to blend the upper lashes in with the falsies, and then lower lashes just give some definition. For that, this time I used the L'Oreal Age Perfect Lash Magnifying Mascara. And then after that, my falsies are the same ones I wore in the last 2 looks. They're from Lash Scoop, and they're the style Lyris. To adhere those lashes, I again used the Kiss Lash Glue Liner in the shade Black. Okay. For my lips, I used ColourPop Lumi Air. This is older packaging. This is my older one. If you watch, you can tell. It's one of the older ones. This is the shade Lumi Air. It's just a nice neutral pink. And it went beautifully with the lipstick that I chose. The lipstick that I chose is KVD Lovesick. And then on top of that, I put the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in the shade 005 Petal. And then lastly, I sprayed my face with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dewy setting spray. Wow guys, I am highly impressed with Sydney Gray shadows. Every shade in here was gorgeous. Yeah, with all that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, and ringing that notification bell so that you are notified of all future content. You definitely don't want to miss out on the other 2 palettes, because in my opinion they're just as gorgeous. And I feel like I'm going to be able to make some really fun eye looks out of those palettes. So I also have some other Sydney Grace palettes that I'll be doing some videos with. I have a bunch of ColourPop. I have some Knobless stuff. I have the Glam Light Michaela palette I still haven't had a chance to do anything with. I have the Lethal is Dead, the Teresa is Dead collaboration with Lethal Cosmetics. I have that. So guys, I have so much content coming up. I had, unfortunately, a rough month in July where I was sick a lot, so I wasn't able to film as often as I would have liked to, or you would have already seen those videos. So I'm trying to play catch up now that I'm actually feeling better. And so I am planning to have a lot of content, so prepare yourself. That was a long-winded way to say subscribe. Please subscribe and ring that notification bell. And if you like to give me a thumbs up, that really helps. And I also do giveaways. I will have another one coming up shortly. I have one that's literally just ending, probably as these videos are going up. However, I have more coming up, and I am working on a much bigger giveaway as well. So I wouldn't want you to ever miss out on giveaways, so be sure to subscribe, please. So with all that being said, I want to say thank you so much for watching. I hope that you are having a great day or evening wherever you are in this world. I hope that you are staying safe and staying healthy, and I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye!